so fun to be scared. It's so fun to go and see a film that manages to make you uncomfortable.
When she first takes me in, I'm, of course, basically just completely sweet.
I really did want to make a horror movie because I wanted to get out of this corner of getting all the horror scripts, but this one was just so much fun that I had to do it.
One thing happens and she's not too sure, and then another thing happens and she's pretty sure.
This is like a cross between Bad Seed, The Exorcist, classics of that kind.
I think the thing that we always liked about Case 39 was the opportunity to do a horror movie that doesn't start out like a horror movie. You actually think you're in a thriller.
And then some more things happen and she is pretty freaked out by me.
My manager told me about it, and he sent it to me in England while I was filming Beatrix Potter. And I didn't have time to read it right away as soon as it got there because, you know, it was in the middle of a filming day. And so I gave it to my assistant, Sarah, and I said, have a look at this. I hear that it's supposed to be pretty good. And I came back from doing this shot, and she was curled up in a little ball on the chair with the script in her lap. And I thought, that was my first good sign, probably, that I needed to take that thing home and read it.
The script is actually one of the scariest scripts I've ever read, and that's actually one of the reasons why we got involved.
If I like horror movies, I like them when they are exaggerations of real fears that we might have. So this movie is, to me, what's interesting about it is the parts that reflect reality.
Something really bizarre and inexplicable is happening. Even as it's occurring, the logical mind is trying to justify it or explain it in some way. And we all relate to that. So because of that, we all get drawn into stories like this when they're cleverly told.
I think everybody loves working with Renee, so nobody ever has any problems, you know, working with her, and that makes for good chemistry with all of her co-stars.
What's so great about Renee is she makes you believe that a character, as they would in real life, is processing this information. What Renee has to do is act the process of going from a character who lives in a real world and has to understand, like we all would, how a supernatural thing has entered into this environment.
It's a wonderful line to walk as an actress, to go back and forth between the moments where she's potentially losing her mind and is desperately trying to justify the unusual occurrences, and then, you know, starting to slowly believe that maybe what's happening isn't based in reality.
I know a lot of actresses and actors who would not go that far. Like for 2 full days, barefoot in the rain at night, you know, and then I need another take. I know some who would come and say, okay, you got one more, and then I'm in my trailer, you know, and she never did that.
The scariest thing is seeing a little, you know, I guess seeing a little 11-year-old kid become this be this monster.
Jodelle Ferland, who plays Lily, is a terrific young actress. I think she's actually the youngest performer ever to win any major award. I think she won an Emmy when she was 4 years old. So she's been doing this quite some time, and she's only, I think she just turned 12 as well.
I told my friends that, yes, I found my souvenir from Vancouver. Her name is Jodelle, and I'm taking her back to America to live with me.
I like being scary girls. I don't know why they always bring me in for scary things. I think I've only gone for like 2 comedy auditions. It's always for the scary roles. And I guess it's because when it's like a cute little girl, they think, oh, what a cute little girl. And then suddenly they see it that I'm like really creepy. And then it's even more scary because it's like cute and scary. It's like, ah.
I'd imagine it would be really difficult to cast children in these roles where you're going to ask so much of them that's not necessarily comfortable, or, I mean, you know, ask them to go to places that are very emotionally mature. And they did. That was really hardcore. I was just worried about, you know, Jodelle, because she had to get in there, and they did have special effects, flames and smoke and things like that all around her, and I had to jerk her out of it. And then she'll laugh about how funny it is the minute that it's over.
Okay, checking the gate.
It was fun. The bottom of the oven was rubber. It was great. I liked it. Then they got to tape me inside there. You know, they had a little smoke thing to make it go to make it look like it was on. It was really funny, actually.
These kind of films depend on the director you get, and he's so in control of his material. It's a pleasure, you know, he knows what he's doing, so it's like having a great coach. You go in there and, what do you want me to do? Bang, bang, thank you.
Before Christian comes to work, the film is made. He sees it from beginning to end. In his mind, he knows what it needs to be, and particularly important in this genre.
Very good.
What stands out about Christian's style is that he tries to get a number of setups per day that is completely unheard of in feature filmmaking.
Storyboards like I've never seen. Never. There's volumes of them, and they stack as high as this chair, and there's probably 4 of them.
Christian will show up with storyboards and want 52 setups a day. You know, I don't know what the average is on a general movie, but 8 is often good. 12 is fantastic. 15 would be brilliant. Christian comes in with the idea of doing 52.
Every shot, every angle, every head movement, every turn, every line has been drawn out in, you know, storyboard form.
Well, I storyboard everything, even the most boring scenes, because you know, I try to make them not boring.
We don't shoot per scene, we shoot by numbers. You know, which shot number is it? Which setup is it now? Oh, it's number 14. Okay, we moved on to 14. What's 14? You go over and you look at the storyboard board, which is the size of this wall per day.
This is not storyboards, this is a shot list based on the storyboard, which just says what we're doing when, in what order, and what direction, so they can prep and be a lot faster than if I block it on the day and decide here after 10 rehearsals where to put the camera, so that's why we are fast.
The genre is that psychological horror story. And you need somebody who knows how to do that kind of thing, and Mr. Albert does, without a doubt.
I want to go as far as possible without losing the audience, because, you know, there's a certain point where they hate you for doing that.
It's great storytelling, and it's one of my favorite uses of this medium in terms of entertainment. And when it's good, it's really good.